think we are tired of seeing Jean Grey being possessed. We want to see somebody else. So what's the natural progression is to see another telepath being possessed, her daughter. Hi besties, it's me, your friendly neighborhood otaku, Scarlet Uzumaki, back with another video. I'm so glad you could all make it back to the besties to tune in to me yapping about all things cosplay, anime, films, and that's it. And also besties, the Bestieverse is the place where you come to get your own personal headpad. So besties, today we are talking about all things Marvel. You could say we are having a Marvel madness. I think Marvel is coming back. It has been revived. On the internet, people talk about superhero fatigue, but everyone knows that whenever superhero fatigue comes up, there is one person that is never involved in the equation, and that is Spider-Man. As you may have seen on the channel, previously I've reacted to Marvel themed content, such as the Avengers Doomsday trailers. As you can probably tell, I am a little bit of a Marvel girly. Marvel was actually one of my first loves. I used to collect the comics back in my childhood up until my teenage years. I suppose that cosplay is my second love and Marvel is my first love. Due to that, it has disappointed me that in the more recent years they have gone on a downward spiral with their films. They have oversaturated the market and they have given us what is known as superhero fatigue. But it does seem that Marvel is trying to revive themselves. They are injecting themselves with a new superhero serum in an attempt to reignite our interest. But hold up besties, whenever the conversation of superhero fatigue is discussed on the internet, there is only one character who is not brought up in the conversation, and that is Spider-Man. He is somebody nobody could have any qualms with. They can do his story again, and again, and we still go back to watch it every time. Even though the Amazing Spider-Man franchise was probably the most criticized franchise of the Spider-Man adaptations that have come out, it is still very popular in comparison to other Marvel films that have not done so well, such as Thor: Love and Thunder, for example. Spider-Man is not the main focus of today's video. No, the main focus of today's video is none other than Sadie Sink. Now, you're probably wondering, who is Sadie Sink? Sadie Sink is a 23-year-old American actress who was born in Texas. She first got her start on Broadway acting in Annie, as well as portraying young Elizabeth II. She had her first film debut in the sports drama Chuck in 2016. However, she did not get her first breakthrough until 2017, so a year later, when she portrayed the character Max Mayfield in the Netflix series Stranger Things, and she got a lot of critical acclaim for her performance, and that has led to Sadie Sink becoming a household name and becoming booked and busy. And recently, Sadie Sink has been announced to be playing a character in the latest of the Spider-Man franchise, Brand New Day. But alongside this, we aren't aware, or we haven't been given the information of just which character she has been booked to play. Besties, wait, there's more. So Sadie Sink has also been reported to sign a 5-picture deal with Marvel, and this has piqued all of our interest. Why? Because we still don't know what character she is playing. There have been a few news articles online saying that not only is she playing a key role in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but also in the MCU as a whole. And naturally, besties, because Sadie Sink is a redhead, this has led many people to believe that she is portraying Jean Grey in the MCU. However, I think this is false, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't believe that the MCU is looking to revive certain prominent characters from the X-Men as teenagers. I can see why people believe this would be the case, more so because they have characters like Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, Yelena Belova, who are quite young, and they are going to form what is the Young Avengers. However, I don't believe Jean Grey would have a place among them, simply because in the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, we saw James Marsden as Cyclops, and James Marsden is in his 50s, so it'll be a bit strange for somebody who is in their 20s and looks young enough to play a teenager to be playing as his love interest. Having somebody like Sadie Sink portraying Jean Grey and then James Marsden playing Cyclops or Scott Summers, I think would be very, very icky for people to watch, because even though James Marsden looks very good for his age, he still looks very much like a mature adult, whereas Sadie Sink, who is in her early 20s, she still has a little bit of a baby face. She suffers from baby face syndrome. What I think, besties, is that one of my theories that I had around Avengers Doomsday being that Dr. Doom is looking to kidnap or capture the superpowered kids. I think that would allude to Sadie Sink not playing Jean Grey, but as the daughter of Jean Grey, Rachel Summers. I think this makes the most sense, besties, because with the character of Rachel Summers, she comes from a timeline where the Senator of the United States, Robert Kelly, he kind of has this anti-mutant regiment, so he implores the Sentinels to capture mutants, to kill them. And in the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, we clearly saw what looked like a giant robot, what I think is a Sentinel, and Cyclops is fighting it. So that leads me to believe that in Avengers Doomsday, they are following this timeline where Sentinels exist and where they are after mutants, and could possibly justify why a lot of these news outlets are saying she has a key role in the MCU. Because Rachel Summers is a very key character. She was the catalyst for what was known as the Avengers vs X-Men saga, because she possessed the powers of the Phoenix Force, which is what many Avengers characters like Captain America thought would be a threat to not only Earth's safety but the universe's safety. So I think Sadie Sink is going to be portraying the telekinetic daughter of Jean Grey and Scott Summers, and down the line we are going to see an Avengers vs X-Men plot with Sadie Sink going to have the Phoenix Force, because the Dark Phoenix saga featuring Jean Grey not being able to control her Phoenix Force within her has been done again and again, besties, and honestly I think we are tired of seeing Jean Grey being possessed. We want to see somebody else. So what's the natural progression is to see another telepath being possessed, her daughter. So that makes the most sense to me, besties. So I honestly hope that Sadie Sink is portraying Rachel Summers and not Jean Grey, because I don't really want to see a teenage Jean Grey. Obviously, I loved X-Men Evolution. It was one of my favourite cartoons to watch as a child. However, if they were going to create an X-Men Evolution but within the MCU, they should not have had James Marsden on as Cyclops. We should have got another young actor to portray him if they wanted to go down the route of having the most prominent characters of the X-Men be part of the Young Avengers. However, that is not the kind of angle the MCU is going down. I believe they're looking to introduce some new characters, have them take the mantle, because the actors who we grew up and know and love, they are getting old. Let's face it, besties. Like James Marsden in his 50s, he cannot play Cyclops forever, so it would make sense to introduce some new young X-Men in so they can become the new big players. So besties, that's all I have time for today. What do you think about my theory of Sadie Sink's role within the MCU? Do you think that I may be correct and she is portraying Rachel Summers and we could potentially see Avengers vs X-Men on the big screen? Or do you think I'm a complete potato and she is just portraying a young version of Jean Grey or alternate timeline of Jean Grey, because we do know that the MCU and pretty much every franchise out there loves a multiverse theory. Alright besties, tune in for the next video. Things are happening, I'm not sure what, but things will be happening. Bye!